Okay, so one thing that we just released is for SMS only right now. I'm working on getting the email portion of it incorporated as well. So hang tight with me there. But we now have a new icon on the left-hand side for inbox. Whenever I go into my inbox, this will be any shared SMS numbers that's in your team. And whenever somebody replies to your conversation, again, this uses integration with Twilio. So you do have to have your Twilio integration set up. You have to have your A2P 10DLC approval done in order for this to actually work the way it needs to be done. But let's say, for instance, Mark Stepp, in this case, sends me a message. Okay. The message might be, and these were all just some different tests I was doing it. What is the closing date that was assigned? Or what was my status of my loan? Well, at the time, I didn't have the answer. So the answer wasn't in there. So I could click on train, and if it's a non-database related item, if it's something about your business practices, standard things that can be answered that necessarily aren't related to your contact or your property, your transaction stuff, it can now use your integration with Gemini to be able to automatically create a response for you. So in this case here is, what are your hours of operation? Our hours of operation is Monday through Friday, 10:30, whatever. So this information is stored in our integrations area with some additional documents. I'm going to show you where that is at. If for some reason it's a question that still is in that realm of, well, it should have been in my standard operating procedures or business practices or whatever, you can click on train and it will allow you to answer that question right here. So the next time that it comes up, it can auto reply back with a message of whatever it is. And this sentence structure is built using AI. So you can just put in the facts, it'll make it pretty. You don't have to word it exactly how you want it worded. It's just filled in with the text itself. You can choose to skip that answer and just do it yourself. If it does come back with an auto response, you can click on modify. If it's not quite right, you want to change it of some sort, you can click on modify. It'll throw it down here into the message response area where you can make your changes and whatever, and then click on send. Whenever you click send, it'll put it into your outbox just as if you sent a normal SMS, but it keeps this conversation going with this person. Now, if you have a team, you can also, and this kind of does the same thing where you can hide it or you can show it. If you have a team and maybe I needed some input from Cody on this, I could come over here and say, at Cody Stepp, what do you think we should respond with? Whatever. So whenever I do that, it will send a notification. Cody in his account will get a notification, a little bell notification type thing. And he can then click on that. It'll take him to this conversation. He can read through this. He can read all the pertinent information, and he can reply as well. And then it shows up automatically on my side with his response. I immediately get his responses, and now I can come in here and I can either use this information and manually type it in, or I can also use an AI draft where it will take whatever the question is, whatever it responded with as a possibility, but then it also looks at the conversation between the internal comments and then drafts some different options for you to respond with. So it gives you the kind of the best of both worlds. Once you hit submit, then it sends it. And then you can set up statuses on things once you've closed out. So in this case, maybe I've closed that conversation, it's done. It throws it into the closed area and I don't have to worry about it. But I can see all of the things that are in my inbox. I can see things that maybe haven't been assigned to people. Maybe I've got a conversation here that I want to assign to Cody for him to be dealing with. And it then goes into his account. It gets out of my account. I don't need to worry about it anymore. And if there's any unassigned ones, I can then assign to certain people on my team. So it kind of gives you a way to have internal communication between your team, with the people you're communicating with, and auto responding with the content. If you go into your integrations area, we have an area here for Google Gemini. Gemini is doing this through a knowledge base where you can set up a knowledge base of information where you can set up different knowledge base things. So if I go in here into my SMS knowledge base, it goes out, it looks to see what all knowledge components am I going to allow as part of answers in SMS and or email. And then it whatever you upload to this is its knowledge. So you can do different things. If I wanted to see one of these things, or if I want to delete it, I can delete it and re-upload it with updated information. But if I want to download it and see what it actually uses. So one of my questions that I had put in there was, do you have any reviews from other people? And it used this document here to come back and look at the Martinez family, the Jennifer and Mark Thompson and David Chin, and it built a response based off of this document's responses inside of that block area. So it gives you a lot of leeway on what all you want to provide. Your standard operating procedures and stuff can now be put into this area as a holding area and then be able to be used. I haven't finished it yet, but all your database pieces, all your contacts, your properties, and your transactions, we're going to be able to allow you to assimilate the information on what you want to allow Sam to let the people know about. So there may be people that say, well, never give out the address, whatever. What I'm working on is giving you the ability to say, yes, these are the fields that are allowed as part of knowledge for SMS replies. And then you'll be able to pick what fields you want to pick and choose from. Then any of those questions that get asked that deal with properties, that deal with transactions, what's the current status of my transaction? Well, we can look at the phone number of that person, find the transactions that belong to the seller or to the buyer, and then I can deal with auto replying as a recommend response on what is the status, and then be able to do a reply back. That's not there yet, but that's almost there. Eventually email as well. Yes. My challenge on that is I've got emails from SendGrid, Gmail, and Outlook that I'm all bringing together into one area, and also trying to deal with some folder issues and stuff like that. So that part's coming right now. It's just SMS.
You see the inbox messages, or we have to go through this page right here?
No. So yeah, you can, whenever I go to Cornelius here, there is a inbox tab here, and I can see their response or the conversation that's going on. I can open that up and see the entire piece right there.
Okay. Nice.
Then also on your dashboard, we have an inbox status piece, so that as things come in, maybe you've got some mentions or whatever that need to be addressed, or what's waiting, or what I closed today. You want to know what these different things are. you can see which ones. If new ones come in, then I can go to those, or if, total unread, I can go to all those that are unread, etc. So this is a powerful piece for internal communication to your team while you're dealing with external communication with your clients.
That's a real missing piece.
Yeah.